I wanted to take you through a tour of a completed project by a student. And this student has done an outstanding job on this project. And I wanted to show you how this should look as a finished product. So your home page should have some sort of quotation or something that personalizes your website focused on education. It also should have some sort of introduction to yourself. A lot of people also want to include a photo at this point, but you don't have to. But you definitely want your name and you want an introduction at the top. And if we move on, we need a tab for our philosophy of education. You can post a link to it, but I really like how this student has just posted their actual philosophy. So if an employer wants to look at it, they can just click on it and read it instead of it opening an additional file. Now, as you notice, we have a tab for the Naeyc Standards, and there are 6 standards right now. For each standard, you should have a page.
It's 11 o'clock.
So you can see when we get to this standard, there's a page for Standard 1, has the standard written at the top, and it has the whole standard written. So Standard 1B is knowing and understanding the multiple influence on early development and learning. Then the student has done a reflection. This reflection is basically your rationale for how this artifact that we have told you to include, basically, how that shows that you understand this Naeyc standard and can enact on it as an educator. Also within the first standard area, we have Standard 1C, again, another reflection or rationale and the required artifact. So it's not just enough to have the artifact there. We definitely want you to have that reflection or rationale. And that's true for each of these standards. So if I scroll down to Standard 5, the student has the standard placed, the specific standard written, the reflection, and then again, that artifact. We have a tab for important documents, and this is a nice layout. This student, you can click on the Naeyc Code of Conduct, which you'll take from Complio and your HACC program standards. The transcript is available upon request. The same if you wanted to put a resume, this would be where you'd put it. The resume can be there for all to see, or you can just put available upon request. And then all of the clearances are listed here. Again, you don't have to post your clearances. This is out on the web. You might not want to do that, but let them be known they're available upon request, and you have to have them built into your page. Very important is our field placement hours. For this course, we definitely want you to have record. This is your only record. So this student has done a nice job of putting each of the observations that you'll complete in 111 on here. As we go into additional courses, you can just add more observations. Then most important is this signed sheet that shows the teacher, shows us that you have done these actual hours. And then the field placement chart. Now this student has made her own version of the field placement chart with all the same categories. You can go into the Google Drive and you can personalize it by making a copy, and then you can screenshot it, whatever you want to do. But you see we have to have your semester and year, where you actually went, the age of learner you worked with, the type of placement it was, and the total hours completed. This is required for you to move on because we need to see a complete picture for your accreditation. Last but not least, we have our contact information. And so someone, if they visit this, they can get a hold of you. So this is a perfect example of what your portfolio will look like when it's finished. If you have any questions, you can let me know at any time.